800 million people use ChatGPT every week. OpenAI built the most dominant consumer tech product since the iPhone. But what if I told you they're losing? Not to Google, not to Meta, but to a company most people have never heard of, founded by two siblings who walked out of OpenAI because they thought it was broken. That company is Anthropic. They have 5% of OpenAI's users, but they're generating almost half of the revenue. This is Boardroom Wire. Let's jump into it. In 2020, OpenAI was the hottest AI lab on the planet. They just released GPT-3, the model that made the world realize language models actually worked. The funding was pouring in, the hype was deafening, and at the center of it all was a researcher named Dario Amodei. Dario was a VP of research. He led the team that built GPT-2 and GPT-3, the models that put OpenAI on the map. His sister ran safety and policy at OpenAI. By any measure, they were the center of the most important AI project in the world. And then they walked away. In early 2021, Dario and Daniela and a small group of researchers left OpenAI to start their own company. The reason? They believed OpenAI was losing its way. The official line was directional differences, but the real issue was simpler. OpenAI was trying to do everything. Consumer apps, enterprises, images, video, voice, hardware, partnership. The roadmap was absolute chaos. And in Dario's view, safety was becoming an afterthought. His philosophy was the opposite. Don't race faster, focus deeper. Do fewer things, do them exceptionally well, and build safety into the architecture from day one. So he did exactly that. He took a handful of researchers he trusted and started Anthropic. The early days were unglamorous. 15 people, Zoom calls during COVID, weekly lunches in a San Francisco park, no product, no revenue, just a bet that focus would beat frenzy. That was 4 years ago. Let me show you what that bet is worth today. In 2022, Anthropic did $10 million in revenue. Last year, they crossed $1 billion. As of October 2025, they're at $7 billion in annual recurring revenue. That's a 700 times growth rate in 3 years. For context, Snowflake, one of the fastest growing SaaS companies ever, took 6 quarters to grow from $1 billion to $2 billion, and Anthropic did $1 to $4 billion in 7 months. This is eye-watering growth that's really never been seen before, with the exception of maybe OpenAI itself. But don't forget the timeline. OpenAI launched in 2015. Anthropic didn't get started until 2021. They had a 6-year head start, and Anthropic is already at $7 billion versus OpenAI's $13 billion for 2025. They've closed the gap to 50% of OpenAI's revenue in just 4 years. But revenue is only part of the story. The more interesting question is, how efficiently are they building? OpenAI has raised over $60 billion in total commitments. Anthropic, about $27 billion, less than half of OpenAI. So OpenAI raised twice the capital and only generated twice the revenue. Dollar for dollar, Anthropic is matching them with 4 fewer years to do it. Now, here's the number that really matters. OpenAI has 800 million users and Anthropic only has 19 million. But what that means is that OpenAI is making about $16 per user, where Anthropic makes $368 per user. They're 22 times more efficient at turning users into revenue. Less time, less capital, fewer users, and almost half the revenue of OpenAI. How is that even possible? The answer is the thing Dario and Daniela believed from day one: focus. Look at what OpenAI is building right now. ChatGPT, DALL-E, Sora for video, voice mode, GPT store, custom GPTs, deep research, a web browser called Atlas, app integrations with Shopify, Zillow, Canva, hardware partnerships, robotics investments. They're building everything. They want to be the everything company. Now here's what Anthropic is building. Claude Code, enterprise features. That's it. No image generation, no video models, no app store, no consumer hardware. They picked 2 markets: enterprise, and developers, and they're going deeper than anyone else. The results speak for themselves. Anthropic now controls 40% of enterprise AI spending. OpenAI has 29%. Google has 22%. The company that does less is winning the customers that matter most, and there's one product that proves exactly how powerful that focus can be. In May 2025, Anthropic launched Claude Code, an autonomous coding agent that lets developers hand entire tasks to AI. Write this feature, debug this system, refactor this code base. Claude does the entire workflow. 6 months after launch, Claude Code hit $1 billion in annual revenue, 0 to $1 billion in literally 6 months. It now processes 195 million lines of code every week. Over 115,000 developers use it every single day. The customer list reads like a Fortune 100 roster. Netflix, Spotify, Salesforce, Palo Alto Networks, where 2,500 engineers use Claude as their daily coding partner. Unlike OpenAI, Anthropic isn't selling $20 subscriptions to college students and users who churn after a month. They're selling mission-critical infrastructure to engineering teams with 6- and 7-figure contracts. Different customers, different business, different durability, but underscores Anthropic's overall focus on enterprise versus the less sticky consumer market of OpenAI's strategy. So let's talk about what this actually means for the AI race. OpenAI has won the consumer market. 800 million weekly users, ChatGPT is a verb at this point. The battle is over, full stop in consumer. But here's the problem with consumer. It has a brutal business model. Users are fickle, they churn the moment something free comes along, willingness to pay is overall very low. Enterprise is the opposite game. Sticky contracts, high switching costs, and customers who pay hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars per year. Enterprise is where software companies build durable, defensible revenue, and in enterprise, Anthropic isn't just competing, they're dominating. Here's what should worry OpenAI. Their whole strategy was supposed to be win the consumers, then convert the companies, get employees hooked on ChatGPT, and then enterprise contracts will follow. But Anthropic has gotten there first. While OpenAI was building image generators and app stores, Anthropic was locking up enterprise relationships. When Netflix needs AI infrastructure, they call Anthropic. When Salesforce builds AI into their platform, they're using Claude. Large enterprises are not waiting for ChatGPT Enterprise to come around. They've already signed up with Anthropic. OpenAI won the popularity contest, but Anthropic is cutting off their growth at the knees in the enterprise market. Because in software, the company that owns enterprise doesn't just survive, it compounds, and right now, that company is Anthropic. With that, I'm going to wrap up. If you found this valuable, like and subscribe to the channel for more strategic breakdowns on business and technology. I'm Boardroom Wire. See you on the next one.